evening, everybody. Welcome back to the shop for episode 17.
And it's a mystery as to what we're going to do because we don't even know. Well, after a lot of searching in the abyss of junk I got piled up everywhere, we found a tank. It was actually recently given to me by a friend Mike. You probably seen his shop in the other video there as he was building that CUDA. Anyway, it's got a nice rubber grommet. And we did find 2 or 3 other ones, but they were all original and they were cracked and rotted and all that. This one is not, so I'm thinking it's a fairly recent one. It's in good shape, but it's really stiff. We just pulled it in from outside, so I'm gonna try a heat gun a little bit on it to see if I can soften it up, and then we'll just pry it off and we'll put it in the other tank. So try and do this. I don't know how much this will make a difference, but it's pretty hot.
Okay.
Definitely doesn't take long with a proper heat gun to heat stuff up. Man, this is hot cooking to the touch, but it softened this up, which is what I was trying to do here. So we'll see if we can get it off without destroying it. Any of the older ones I tried this and they just broke apart, so this has got to be a replacement at some point. And a bit of work, I might have to actually resort to a screwdriver. Is there a screwdriver around here? Right here. Pop it around.
What about one of those?
There we go. So, yeah. Oh, it's even a Chrysler one. It's got the Pentastar on it. It is definitely a replacement. This is not an old one because it's not cracked at all. But yeah, it's got a Chrysler Pentastar and part number.
Awesome.
So the whale's going to get some good quality parts. Okay, the installation video. There's going to be a whole segment just putting this in. That's it, all done. Here we have the newly non-refurbished sending unit. Basically we just clean that out, put a new sock on there. Can feel it coming out there. So, and these, so we got our new rubber gasket, and there's a notch here, top and bottom, that orients it for here. So either you're in properly or 180 out. And then we just snake this around like that. And is that the right way? Yeah, that's second guessing myself here. Okay, I'm gonna make sure this rubber gasket's on properly because they can move around on you. Okay, so we're locked in the tabs. The gasket looks pretty uniform. Sometimes they get off-centered. We're going to try the fit with the original ring. My experiences with the reproduction rings is they don't fit very well, but you know, go figure. It's reproduction parts in general. So that's it. Nice and tight. Should provide a good seal. Anyway, I think we're ready to put this rusty puppy back in. Meet you at the car. Sean is about to evict some spiders. Well, there's probably no spiders there. It's just the remains of their homes. Ooh, there's a big one.
Spiders don't bother me.
Oh.
Yeah.
You'd think I'd know that by now.
Now, had it been a mouse or a rat, then it would have been a different story.
Ooh. Mama's doing some house cleaning on the whale.
Yes. we need to spray anything up here to make sure that it's not gonna...
Oh, I'll have a look here.
Okay.
A little more involved putting these tanks in because we gotta sneak around so much stuff. Well, we finally got our game plan here to figure out how this goes. So we just put it in vertical and then we'll just twist it, I guess. There we go. This. There you go. There you go. Okay, just give it a little squirt. Just make the hose go on easier. You're doing that so you don't make a mess, aren't you?
Oh yeah, it'll be all white underneath there. You know what I'm like with this stuff. It goes all over the place.
Yeah, there you go, like that. And then slide it all the way as far as it'll go. And then still pretty tight, eh?
Yeah. Doesn't help that I'm a short little thing either.
He's working it.
Looks good.
So this one's there. Yep, right in the spots. Now we got a panel we'll put in here and we can put the wheel back on. We had to take this tire off just to get all this in there, but we're making progress. Okay, the ground is on. That should work. Okay, we got it in. It's the next day. We're back in the shop and I just realized we screwed up. Not a major screw up, but you know, a pain in the butt screw up. So 2 steps forward, 1 step back. We put this panel in, everything buttoned up with the tank, but I forgot that I wanted to run air through the fuel line, just make sure it was clear. So we're going to take the panel off, which is 1, 2, just 4 little screws, and then take the rubber hose off that went to the sending unit. And I want to hook up an air chuck to that and blow through the system just to make sure the line's good. So not a huge deal, but that's just the way it goes. Well, I got that little kinked rubber line we showed you a couple videos ago. Cut that off, but this hose seems to go through the hole inside the frame rail, and then the line comes up here and it bolts up there. So it's clamped there. So I think if I undo that clamp, I should be able to feed the line out, because otherwise I don't know how I'm going to replace this hose. So that must be how it works. But there was a bit of residual gas in there, and man, does it stink. That's just nasty stuff. So I'm going to blow it from up front and see if it clears it out from here.
The whale's got bad gas.
First here.
Oh. Yeah, it's squirting out of there.
Coming out pretty good?
Yeah, it's just
I can see a mist.
It's a mist, yeah.
You able to reach with your hand to see how much air is coming out of it? Okay, I thought maybe I could cheat a bit on time and blow air from here and listen for the air in the tank, but Shauna says if there's any gunk in the line, of course we're just going to blow it right into the fuel strainer sock there. So even that's not going to work. So there goes the air compressor. So anyway, I will disconnect as first thought and we'll blow it out through this way.
Okay.
Okay.
Oi.
Lots coming out?
Yeah.
I barely did it.
Oi.
More?
Yeah, just... Yeah, there's lots of nasty coming out of there.
Is it hitting the pan?
Yeah, it's hitting the pan.
Well, that's a good sign that it's not blocked.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take this bolt off and see if we can slide that line out.
Oh, yay.
To come out?
Yeah.
Now, the other thing is, will that line just slide out of the frame?
You know, it's the weirdest thing right here.
What's that?
That looks like a rock, but you know, I can't hold it at arm's length away to see it, so I can't really tell, but maybe you can come have a look because...
Well, so is the line free?
No, the line is underneath this, and this looks like a rock.
The line doesn't move?
No, I don't think so. Oh, yeah.
Okay. Now see if that'll slide forward towards the front of the car. And have to slide it out of the frame rail, basically.
So, yeah.
It'll come out?
Yeah, but I'm
Or wait, actually, slide it back and see if we can get it back far enough that I can get that rubber line off.
that way you need to go. Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Okay, I'll go check it out here.
Okay.
Goes to film thing first. Okay, so we slid the line out far enough and the rubber line came out. I wasn't sure how far up it went, so Shauna's just gonna put a slice in it and then peel it up. Okay, Dr. Shauna is in the house performing a bit of surgery here. We just got to put the rubber hose on. She's just putting some lube on to make the hose go on easier. Yeah, try to rotate, twisting it on like a bottle here. Okay, everything's back together. Finally, we'll get these strut rods and the sway bar out. They're attached to each other. You can see where the strut rod comes through. The bushings are just baked right out. So I had new bushings ordered and they came in. And then the other thing here is I've never dealt with this style sway bar. Is if you come in here, Shauna, and see, the rubber bushing that goes around the sway bar is completely captured by this piece of metal that was welded, spot welded. So there's no way of replacing that without, you know, cutting and welding again. So I'm not sure if there's kits for that or not. And then on the end here, there's another bushing. That looks like it would just slide off the end, so that shouldn't be a problem to replace. But I don't know. I'd have to do some research to see what we can get for those. And then the other thing is this sway bar here is just spindly. It's probably like 3/4 of an inch or something, and I'm thinking that's probably not enough, you know, given the girth of the whale here, to do anything really. It looks pretty spindly. So we'll see what we'll do as far as factory replacement bushings. The other option is they do make a C-body aftermarket sway bar, and it's about a 1-inch bar or 1 inch and a quarter. And you can even get it for the back too. So, you know, maybe back in the day, this was adequate, but then you've got modern roads with modern traffic, maybe a bigger sway bar would be better. So we'll yank this out and I'll have to do the research to see what's available, and then we'll go from there. Sway bar is just about out. The 2 links are unbolted. This side's unbolted. There's just a little 1 bolt and a bracket that sits on there. It just clamps to the strut rod. So I was using the big hammer, which make quick work of everything, except I can't get it in here. So I'm going to have to do this one manually. Sometimes you got to work for it. So we got this beast out. The bushings here on the end don't look bad, and even this link bushing and this one up here is decent, but this one here is just blown right out, as you can see. So I'm sure, we never drove this car, but I'm sure it was a stellar handling machine. So it took a little bit of muscle to crack this nut loose, but it seems to be easy now. But I can't get a socket or any power tool there, so it's just going to be a slow go. Okay, we got the nuts off. That took a bit of manual labor, and we're going to feel it in our shoulders tomorrow because, you know, we're old and we're not athletes. But anyway, you can see how there's a washer here. Come on this side. You can see how the bushings are all pounded out here. So I got new Moog bushings. Hopefully they're the proper ones. They listed it for this car. So we got those 2. I pulled off the bump stops because I got to get at the bolts on the other end of the strut. Anyway, you can see they're toast, so we'll have to find a listing for those. And then I got a bit of a archaeological dig here to dig out these nuts because there's 60 years of grease there, but should be able to, there's 2 bolts, should be able to zap them off with the impact, and then these strut rods should just come out the back. Both these strut rods had dates with the wire wheel, so I'll clean them up a bit, scrape the grease, got a bit of rust off. And then so you got this inner washer, and then your rubber bushing goes in from the back side, And then this rubber bushing, another washer comes in from the front. And there's a hole here. And this little register on this bushing fits perfect in there to center itself. So it's quality stuff. So this we will put through here. And goes like that, and this comes on. Got to tilt it to get it in there. And the nut. Incidentally, these come off finger tight once you clean the threads and put some WD on there. And then we got two bolts through the lower control arm to the back of this strut rod. And that's complete. Well, they're both installed. Nice and compressed and tight in there. Fresh bushings. Bolted up on the lower control arm. So what we have to find is a couple of bump stoppers. These are both split for the bottom there. And then we've got to decide what we're going to do with the sway bar situation. I'll look up and see what's available for stock ones. But I think ideally I'd like to have the bigger aftermarket sway bar and just make it drive that much nicer. And maybe even a rear one as well. So we'll see. That's it for another episode. Time to go in and do some editing and then go to bed and go to work.
Have a good evening, everybody.